Now, the recent success of the Philippine Azkals in international competitions started a wave of optimism for the country and sparked renewed interest in the sport of football. For the first time in history, the Philippine Football Federation launched a search for the next Philippine Azkals who will undergo training for the 2019 World Cup qualifiers. More than 1,000 boys from Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao tried their luck, but only 22 were selected to be part of the Little Azkals. Now, this stringent selection process was caught on cam via a documentary that will be shown on ABS-CBN this Sunday, April 12th. Here's a sneak peek.
Every single one of you, all of these boys, in a wave, say hello.
And joining us here in the studio is Albert Almendralejo, team manager of the Little Azkals Under-14 team and the executive producer of the Little Azkals documentary. We also have Chris Thomas, a British football coach, and our players, Robert Orr and Nikko Gutierrez, part of the Little Azkals who trained in the United Kingdom. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Nikko, Robert, good morning. Good morning. Chris, good morning. Good morning. Okay, let me first ask you, Albert, what really prodded you to develop and produce this documentary?
It was financial, no? The British Council offered a grant to the Philippines, to the PFF, to send 22 kids to the UK for training. However, the PFF had no money. So since my background was TV and I made documentaries, I said, okay, why don't we do a documentary, then from there sell TV spots. Then the TV spots will take care of the counterpart fund to finance the trip. No? And they all agreed. So when they agreed, they said, okay, the trip can push through now. And not a single cent was spent by the kids or their parents for a 3-week training in the UK, and that was how it came about.
Well, isn't it a bit too much for very young men such as them to be placed on a microscope, so to speak, that each and every thing that they do while they were in London, obviously some of them have never been to the United Kingdom, for them to be placed in a group that some of them they didn't know this is strangers for them, and they'll be brought to a different country to train in a sport that they love. Was it a difficult logistical thing for you guys and your team?
Yeah, it was really very hard, especially most of the kids came from the provinces. Only 6 kids came from NCR, 9 from Visayas, 5 from Mindanao, and 2 from Luzon, plus the 6 kids. And it was the first time that they were gathered together. So they were chosen with a nationwide tryout. And good thing the British Council has been doing this. They've been sending Filipinos abroad for the Chevening Scholarship. They sent 11 kids with me when we went to the London Olympics.
Wow.
And they said, after the London Olympics, they said, Albert, why don't you form a team? Choose any sport. And since in the UK it's football, they said, why don't you bring young kids to the UK and the British Council will sponsor you. And that was how it came about. No? For most of the kids, it was the first time to be without their parents. So I think it was harder for the parents more than the kids.
Okay, let me ask Chris. Chris, we were talking, we were talking off camera about how interesting is it for you to be working with, well, you didn't go with them. Let's just establish that. You did not go with them to London, but you are overseeing their training here as well.
That's right, yeah.
So you've been in the Philippines for almost, how long? For more than a year?
Just over a year now, yeah.
And what makes Filipino youngsters special? Talking in terms of the sport of football.
I think it's the passion that they have is really infectious, you know. So I've been in different countries around the world, you know, giving different coaching sessions out, and it's the Filipinos have got something different, and it's very infectious, and it's a pleasure to work with them, you know, because you can really maximise the potential, you know. So it's like back in my country, it's like a kind of a given, so to speak, you know, but again, because of the passion, I can really get the best results out of them, you know.
In terms of skill set, are we better than most other Asians, or maybe, well, I will admit that our skill set is not has been as comparable to the Europeans as of yet. But talk about youngsters like them, like these two. How much of their innate or natural skill set is there to build on?
Well, I worked in Thailand for 4 years, and the skill set in Thailand is very comparable, you know. So it's just bringing in like you know, adopting like a British style, you know, synergizing it with the Filipino style, and I was thinking of bringing in a bit of tiki-taka as well, you know, so it can help them cognitively think, become a thinking player, become an all-rounded player, but bringing in the British style of speed and aggression, which is very similar to the Filipino style. So yeah, I think we can really push these kids here, yeah.
Okay, I'll get back to you in a bit, but let me talk to these two gentlemen here who have proudly worn their uniforms. Robert, who is in white, and Nikko, who's in black. How big of a deal is it that you were chosen to fly out to England, where football is so big, and you're part of a contingent of very select young men to train under the Azkals banner? How big was it, Robert?
I think it was a really good experience, and there were loads of us who tried out, and you know, going out there, you're carrying the pride of your country, and it's pressuring, but there's a lot of people out there who'd like to be in my position now, so I should grab that opportunity now and take it, use it wisely.
Okay, for a young man like you, who was this the first time that you've been away from home?
No.
For an extended period of time? It's just you and then a bunch of strangers? First time, no?
Not really, but I'm capable of doing that.
Big guy. Okay, yan. Did you, okay, let me talk now to Nikko. Nikko, you wearing that black top and with the number 1 emblazoned on your jersey, you are the keeper.
Yes.
Did you want to become a keeper in the first place?
Yes.
And why is it that you wanted to become a keeper?
We see that most of the players here in the Philippines is a field player. We see often keepers here. So I told myself, why not try to be a keeper? So when I started playing football since I was 9, I had a coach who's a keeper. I asked him to train me to be one. So we had sessions Saturday and Sunday every weekend. He taught me how until I knew that there was tryouts for the Philippine team. I was lucky enough to be selected. Then I wouldn't be selected because of him.
But what is during this trip that you trained in London? We're now actually seeing some clips from it. What is your most memorable experience during the entire time that you were in England? What's the one thing that you will remember for the rest of your life with this trip?
Maybe the games.
Tell us what were you able to do, just a bit. Where were you able to, what place were you able to visit? What did you see?
We went to Wembley. It's an international stadium where the England place. So it was a place where we couldn't be there again. So it's like a one-time opportunity to go there.
Okay, Robert, tell me about your most unforgettable experience during the whole time, during the whole trip.
Well, I think that the whole trip was really good, and not everyone will have an opportunity to go on a trip like this. I mean, we went to the UK for 3 weeks, only our teammates, ourselves, and our coaches, and we didn't even spend a single penny. So, and besides that, you're bringing the pride of your country there. You're training, you're trying to get better, and I think it's just awesome.
Okay, Chris, you were a young boy once. How difficult is it to be out away from your comfort zone and go to a country you've never been before and train? How difficult is it?
It can be quite difficult, you know. It can be a big effect on your performance, to be honest. But you do get used to it. You do adapt to the environment that you're in, and you're meeting new people as well from different countries as well, you know. So it becomes a unique experience. That's where I was inspired when I was a child at the Manchester United Academy, meeting people from Japan, and there's Spain and Germany, you know, and it just gave me that inspiration that I just wanted to go and just see the world, you know, from a very, very young age. So
now that you are now also conducting camps here in the Philippines, tell us about that camp.
Football for a Better Life. With Pro Life UK, we go around to key locations which we identify to be footballing places, and it gives us the opportunity to the kids have the opportunity to showcase their skills and all. So it gives me an opportunity to collecting data to understand the footballing culture, and it gives me a chance to identify talents as well. So we have like a national, you know, pool of players rather than just a select few. Right. So that's what we really need here, I think. You just have so many players we can select.
So how is this camp progressing? I'm sure you have a camp round now that it's summer.
Yeah.
Where is the camp?
The next one will be it'll be on the 22nd of this month, and it'll be in San Carlos and Negros.
Negros.
Yeah.
Very good. Okay, Albert, my last question is for you. Will there be more documentaries of this nature that you will be putting out? Maybe not necessarily just about them, but maybe about the other teams under the national team banner. Maybe the national women's team, or the national youth women's team, or maybe the Azkals themselves. Who knows?
Yeah, well, actually this project is a 6-year project, no? And we intend to do 6 documentaries to document the experiences of the kids until they become
the
full-fledged Azkals.
Wow!
So this is like the Oscar nominee film of Linklater, wherein for several years they follow the life story of one boy. But this one is a life story of the team. And for the first time in Philippine sport, there's a long-term plan on starting when they were 11 years old.
And nurturing them.
Nurture them until they become full-fledged national team players. For all you know, Boyet here is a national team player of football a long time ago, no? And he will tell you his experience.
Oh, wow, not today.
Wherein the team is formed a few months before
Gutierrez did not like that.
the actual competition. So this one is different.
Didn't like that. Anyway, the documentary, The Little Azkals Pursuit of a World Cup Dream, will have its TV premiere on April 12th at 10:30 p.m. after Magandang Gabi Vice here on ABS-CBN Channel 2. Thank you very much, Albert Almendralejo. Thank you very much, Chris, Robert, and Nikko. Thank you very much, and we hope to see you again.
Thank you, Boyet. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, the makers of The Grudge